of liberty, but somebody could write a better anthem for we. A major weakness I find with the anthem. It says nothing about the lands from where we came. To adopt and accept this Twin Island gem as the only home to which we have any claim. So I watch in UNC Kokiai, but their loyalties really lie with some foreign culture with which they choose to identify. They boycott Independence Parade anytime they're not at the top. So to me it's a joke when they call themselves patriots. Tell me, side by side we stand. Somebody mad. How come Indians and Africans hate each other so bad? And every creed and race, but an equal place. But not one white collar criminal languishing in Rimania. Well, alright, in Cipepe and no Syrian nor French Creole. You ever see a Chinese police fighting crime? Israeli carnival and cricket to spread the table. That shows the cosmopolitan nation in its prime. We may be forged from the land of liberty, but somebody could write a better anthem for we. Listen, the national anthem should reflect.
This Sunday on episode 4 of Eye on Dependency, where every life is a biography.
This Sunday, Garth and Natasha speak with a woman who was a media personality with a dream. She walked away from corporate life to jump into the business of music.
My dream is for our society to promote the positive side of our music, not just Trinidad. I am Delicia Patterson, and this is my story.
Delicia is now the manager of popular local artist Jolano. Will her dream be realized in Trinidad and Tobago for a more industrious and progressive music industry for our young and upcoming artists? Listen live this Sunday from 10 a.m. on I-95.5 FM or watch live on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page or YouTube channel. Eye on Dependency. We don't just share stories, we change lives.
Eye on Dependency with Garth and Natasha.
Reality radio at its best, where every life is a biography.
Sundays at 10 a.m. and exclusively on I-95.5 FM.
And streamed live on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel.
A national anthem should reflect the nation's people. Are we living the words of our anthem?
Well, they don't come from there, but this one's serious. I don't want to interfere with the anthem, but I know it's supposed to be sacrosanct. But forgive me if I have a little problem. Is it culturally and socially relevant? Listen, if its history is not wrong, it was never our song. It was written for the Federation, which ran aground. Pakistani recalibrated and adapted for our use. This is why the text is nondescript and rather loose. Hear me chorus. Side by side we stand. That word is wrong. You see, Tobago on top, Trinidad looking down. And every creed and race, but an equal place. And that is not the reality on the ground. In Royal Jail and Golden Grove is only for people. The black boys and the rest of them don't do no time. Israeli sports and culture just spread the table and show the cosmopolitan nature in its prime. We may be forged from the land of liberty, but somebody could write a better anthem for we. A major weakness I find with we anthem. It says nothing about the lands from where we came. To adopt and accept this twin island gem as the only home to which we have any claim. So I want some UNC Koki but their loyalties really lie with some foreign culture with which they choose to identify. They boycott independence parade anytime they're not at the top. So to me it's a joke when they call themselves patriots. Tell me, side by side we stand. Somebody mad. How come Indians and Africans here hate each other so bad? And get free and live, but an equal play. But not one white collar criminal languishing in Rimania. Well, alright. In Cipepe and no Syrian nor French Creole. You ever see a Chinese police fighting crime? Israeli carnival and cricket to spread the table. That shows the cosmopolitan nature in its prime. We may be forged from the land of liberty, but somebody could write a better anthem for we.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to Dependency, right here on I-95.5 FM, live on the Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel. Good morning, Natasha.
Good morning, God. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to Dependency, and of course, as you heard the intro song a couple of times this morning, we anthem by our very own God Sinclair. So we wish him the best of luck as we await the judge's decision as to who will be singing in Skinner Park. But apart from that, we have a guest in studio this morning, and we thank you for tuning in on I-95.5 and on Facebook and YouTube, our live stream. Thank you very much for joining us there.
Yes, and also it was deliberate, the tune of choice to start, because what we're going to discuss today, and we thank the Ministry of National Security and Counter-Trafficking Unit for this opportunity once again to present to you another program that will make some people think and possibly make some people change their perspective on certain things. Hopefully. And we speaking in studio with us this morning is Ms. Delicia Patterson. Now, some of you would have heard Ms. Patterson on Project Hope a few Fridays ago with her charge, if I should use a better, for want of a better term, her client, the Trinibad artist Jelano. Now, this calypso has been in the making for like 2 years, because as social observers we realize that there are a number of things that in our anthem that we don't really live, and I honestly think that we should start doing that, and this discussion probably would help, because it's a perfect example of standing side by side. Now, side by side
we stand,
and that should cover music, the music industry as well. And Ms. Patterson represents Jelano. She was the former manager of Trinidad Killer, and now she, as you heard in the promo, Ms. Patterson was from eventually banking sector, and was born and bred in the media as well. Good morning, Ms. Patterson.
Good morning, Mr. St. Clair.
And thank you very much for spending your time with us this morning and to represent your advocacy. And
thank you very much.
It's important for us too, as I said, to stand and understand that it's here, and we'll start with that first, the Trinibad music. I have an article to share with you. We may have a video, and we let Miss from the artist Jelano that we had to do some bleeping though, but you know, and that's part of the issue too that we will be discussing, because if Trinidad wants us to stand side by side with them, then we must admit some adjustments to be made, right? And because how we, the public, were introduced to Trinidad music was every time it was playing in the images you would see would be men dancing with weapons, men smoking, men drinking, men, you know, that's how it was presented. And you know this thing about a first impression. Now I don't know if we missed the part where, and as you said, we let Ms. Patterson explain that part about, and I think Iowa had the same explanation. I'll tie in the two if you understand what I'm saying. But this morning, that's what we're going to try to do, to get people to understand that Trinidad music is a part of us. I think too, what the minister, from an article here, who responded to the Minister of Gender Affairs, I think that comment the minister made was misunderstood, and I agree with it as a matter of fact. And I'll try to ask Dale if he could find it for us so we could play it, so you could hear for yourself if you missed what the Minister of Gender Affairs said, right, Natasha?
If I may, I want to interject into the discussion as well, in as much as the opposition to Trinidad music and the culture around it, and the visuals and the connections that have been made with criminal elements. I want us to see that in context as a genre of music, which, like many others that have come before it, including dancehall, including hip hop, have all had a reputation for being anti-establishment, for being rebellious, for being outside of the norm, and have all faced, you know, discrimination and censorship from wider society because of the lyrics, because of the association again with criminal activity and so on. So I want us to be very careful about how we contextualize the music, where it is coming from, the artists that are performing it, and understand that music is art, right? And you cannot necessarily censor art. I know people may want to, and where it is coming from young people who live a certain life, who have grown up a certain way, and who have certain challenges in life, and a lot of what comes out in the music is born out of their life experience, and we cannot deny it, we cannot cast it aside. We have to put all of these things into context. So I just wanted to put that in as well.
All right, so without further ado, we'll take a break, and when we return, we discuss this very important, sometimes contentious topic, because remember, we have a national security issue in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yep.
And any weapon that can be used to turn things around, music is one of them, but it has to be used wisely as well, and which will help us in the fight against crime and our situation here in Trinidad and Tobago. I am telling you, music is also a powerful tool. Music can make people look at carnival, different types of music. Christmas time, you wouldn't see a woman jump on the drop on the ground and start to jump the road to you know.
No.
To Mary's boy child, you're not going to see that to even the soca parang.
Correct.
But you'll see it for carnival because it's a different spirit, right?
Yes.
So I want people to.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago, through the National Task Force Against Trafficking in Persons, continues to develop and implement effective policies and procedures to prevent and suppress human trafficking. To date, the National Task Force has developed 2 national plans of action against the crime of trafficking in persons. Trinidad and Tobago adopts a four-pronged approach in its response to human trafficking. 1. Effective identification of victims and witnesses. 2. Prevention of human trafficking. 3. Protection of victims and witnesses. And 4. Prosecution of suspected traffickers. In the Ministry of National Security, we established a specialized unit called the Counter-Trafficking Unit to lead and manage Trinidad and Tobago's response to human trafficking. The Counter-Trafficking Unit works closely with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the Immigration Division, and international law enforcement agencies to aggressively and proactively investigate and prosecute suspected human traffickers. Human trafficking is a serious crime. Rest assured, the government of Trinidad and Tobago and its agencies remain committed in the fight against human trafficking and will respond with immediate effect when the need arises.
We are the Counter-Trafficking Unit of the Ministry of National Security, Trinidad and Tobago, safeguarding human life.
Dependency with Garth and Natasha.
Reality radio, at its best, where every life is a biography.
Sundays at 10 a.m. and exclusively on 95.5 FM.
And streamed live on the Ion Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel.
It's Ion Dependency, and we are talking music, culture, Trinidad in particular. And we have a video from an artist called Jelano, and we have his manager in studio with us, Delicia, who's going to be talking to us about this subject, but we wanted her to introduce the video as an example of some of the positive side of Trinidad that we do not often hear.
Ms. Patterson?
All right. Now you're about to listen, and I want everyone to listen to the lyrics of this song by Jelano called Take It Down. It was released more than a year ago on YouTube. So I would love the listeners to take in the lyrical content that was produced by the same said artist.
Now let people know how many views and likes this video
Presently, there's the audio clip on YouTube. It has 50,606 views presently.
Right.
And it was released on the 14th of October, 2022.
Right.
All right?
Okay.
So take it in.
All right, let's listen to it.
Let's go.
Yeah, me no blocks. Get to you with the facts. And anything me say, me not take back. No, no. Yeah, me no biggie. Easily.
Vex the mix.
Blood that shed, you swear a sacrifice. And the beast is never satisfied. How much longer are we gonna help the evil man feed his appetite? Only guns them advertise, and besides girls, them some money, that's the price. So them praise the machine more than them praise the king nowadays, and that is life. Can't say me never contribute to the slackness. Not for the songs me sing influence badness, but not much more than an actor or an actress. Yo, still me sing good songs for uplift the youths and balance it. And me even give a if the songs hit, just as long as me preach when me practice. So take it down, get how you take it down. No touching go in a bloody town. The children them want go a playground, and the people them want go a stage show. So take it down, get how you take it down. No touching go in a bloody town. The children them want go a playground, and the people them want go a stage show. Can't fully dance, fully smart now. Elevation, yeah man, I work on my craft now. Give thanks for my mistakes, cause without it me can't grow. Me remember the days we tighter than cornrow. So take it down flatter than the grass with the lawnmower. The youths are blaze hotter than the wicked and flambeau. Police can't stop it till we get it in the traffic. So be careful when you chat it, me warn you. Keep your eyes open. Don't make nobody know your location. No. Stop promote Satan. Tonight we don't want to hear out the AK sound. No. So when we liming and we grinding, yeah, we want to see the hot girl them whining. We no want to see no boy get out of timing. Don't bother spoil the vibes, me I dream. So take it down, get how you take it down. No touching go in a bloody town. The children them want go a playground. And the people them want go a stage show. So take it down, get how you take it down. No touching go in a bloody town. The children them want go a playground. And the people them want go a stage show. So take it down, get how you take it down. No touching go in a bloody town. The children them want go a playground. People them want go a stage show. So take it down, get how you take it down. No touching go in a bloody town. The children them want go a playground. People them want go a stage show.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Nice, huh?
I must admit, and I think this is what the minister was referring to. And she was described as tone deaf in this article here, which I don't agree with, because this is what the minister was referring to. I found myself nodding and tapping too, and enjoying what I'm hearing. And the lyrics in this is very powerful and positive.
Yep.
So, Ms. Patterson, what about, so when was this was this released before or after some of the more if I should use that word, caustic stuff?
To be honest with you, Jelano has been releasing this type of music, I would say, for the past 10 years. You understand? For the past 10 years. 10 years ago, we didn't know about Trinidad and the music and all these different things. What I want to start off with is the main purpose is to start to change the narrative. I know you and I would have had, and Natasha, of course, would have had separate discussions and so forth. So we could at least try to be on the same page and all these different things.
Yes.
So it is a very contentious topic, and I do understand that it is very controversial. So I want people to at least know some history. Now, the first thing people will say, or people love to identify, is that the name of itself, you know, is like breeding negativity,
badness
on its own. Trinibad. However, we are Trinis, Trinbagonians, I should say.
Right.
Right? When we're referring to, let us say, an outfit, and just like I say, let's say,
a bad penny.
that sneakers are real bad, that New Jordans are real bad. Oh God, you hear that song? That real bad.
Understood.
That's how the association to the music came about.
Bravo.
Right?
Before you go on, and I'll let you go on, bravo. Because we didn't understand that.
Right.
This is the first time I've heard this explanation for it.
Yeah, because
Because
bad is a slang term, and obviously
But
we all
old
have
people-
different connotations.
But old people like me don't know that. Understand this. And we equate bad with bad. This bad.
Right.
And then I listened to Jelano, and some of the things he's saying, and my brain was platting up for some of them because I wasn't understanding a word he was saying. But I feel right. And I just, but the music's sweet. And I was tapping my feet, and the minister was saying, this kind of music, we should have more of this. But go ahead.
All right. To continue on that note, Trinidad itself, a lot of people don't know, was actually trademarked by a U.S. businessman as a clothing brand before the music transcended.
Stop.
Right? And
does this person have Trini roots?
yes,
or
he has
okay.
Trini roots. He resides out of the country.
Okay.
Right? Now, some persons locally, obviously producers and so forth, like DJ Pan and KG Music, they would have taken the whole Trinidad idea and align it with music, because the youths, the new generation, they saw some talent breeding from the ground up, right? So they associated it with the music, and that is how the Trinidad music came about.
Right.
Patterning, of course, the Jamaicans and their dancehall culture.
Yes.
Let's not forget the origin and the history of the dancehall culture.
Correct.
Right? So when we start to change our mindset objectively and try to be open-minded, to try to understand the root, that is when we can now follow the transgression. Unfortunately, it has now reached, a negative stage in society. But to understand and to truly fix, we have to go back to the root, right? Now, I said we have a new generation. That is the key thing society needs to understand. We have a new generation. I can't speak for you. I cannot speak for anybody, any of the listeners. I can speak for myself. And I can say, when I was a teenager growing up, my parents never used to encourage me to listen to, secular music, as Christians term it, or music with not good content. You know what I mean? I remember my dad would have not thrown out pelt, right? A Lil Wayne cassette I was listening to.
Right.
He came home and obviously music playing so hard.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he come home.
No, but but he right. He's still alive. He's still alive.
No.
Wherever you are, Papi, you're right. Because Lil Wayne created a culture of his own where our young people started drinking purple drink, cough syrup and Sprite mix. No, is Lil Wayne made that famous. Lil Wayne did a song on it.
Yes,
understand how powerful music is, people.
Yes.
Lil Wayne, Gary, am I wrong?
And how
You're not wrong.
influential
Okay.
though Lil Wayne is in the hip hop industry. He is considered among the top 10 best rappers of all time.
Understood, but he did a lot of damage. He did a
Agreed.
lot of damage to our children. He had our primary school children in Trinidad and Tobago carrying to school cough syrup and Sprite and mixing it and drinking
Not
it.
just
and
here either, all
ending up
over the world.
All over the world.
Yeah.
So your father should have burned it. But go ahead. I just had to put that in. Not
No,
Lil Wayne.
the thing about it is, did I drink cough syrup mixed with Sprite? No.
Because you're an adult. And you're
No,
not easily
I was not an
influenced.
adult when I was listening to his cassette, not CD, or MP3 or on
Right,
YouTube.
right. That was a
I
long
was
time.
listening to his cassette,
Yes.
right? I never found the urge to drink cough syrup and whatever,
And
mixed
Sprite.
with whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
Understood.
think throwing all the blame towards the artist, we are wrong for doing that. And I'm using the word we because I want everyone listening or who will get an opportunity to listen to this program, we need to start with us, right? Every single adult needs to accept responsibility
Ms. Patterson.
for the state of the country right now, and
Right.
I'll explain what I mean.
I know, right. And just take up
No
hold your
problem.
thought. I hate to keep interrupting you, but I don't want thoughts to get lost, right?
Sure.
Now, and the artist has to feel the same way too.
Of course.
And people like Lil Wayne and other brothers here in Trinidad and Tobago, if we want to influence the youth, while Lil Wayne didn't do a video on drinking, and I'm just using this Gatorade, why he didn't make a video on that? Because that is dog bite man. You understand what I'm saying, Natasha? Why he didn't do a video on that? That would have influenced children to pursue sports, because Gatorade is a sports drink.
But then again,
But
is
he
that the
said-
artist's responsibility to sing about what you want to hear or what he is feeling
No, what
inspired to sing about?
What I want artists to sing is what is influential and influencing
They
thought
don't
and
They're
behavior.
bound to do that.
But can I now
They don't
can I
have to.
answer what you're trying to get
Go
at?
ahead.
Yes.
Why is the song that you just played? Why are there only 50,000 views on it? And why
Yeah.
the music that you obviously feel emotional about, that it's spoiling, quote unquote, the youths of today, why those songs, those videos have over 3 million views on it. It's not the artist listening to the song 3 million times.
Right.
You understand?
Correct.
They obviously not coming on radio with those songs to promote it. Have you ever heard some of these songs with these artists?
No.
The artists will come to promote positive music or music with less editing,
Yes.
so to speak. That's why we have radio edits, obviously.
Right, radio friendly version.
Yes.
The point I was trying to make when I was saying we all have to accept responsibility. We keep going back to the artist, the artist, the artist. All right, let's go back to the artist. I was engaging on social media with a number of people, concerning the type of music, Trinibad, dancehall, whatever, positive music and so forth. Now, for the past couple of days, one or two persons have been telling me, but it have no positive music out there. I was like, you're willing to bet your entire life savings, your house, your land, your car on that?
No.
You're willing to bet on that because I'm ready for that fight. You understand?
Right.
And I would have posted a status on all my social media. I would have shared it to numerous groups. I would have tagged all the viral pages on social media. And this was my status, my comment. I said, let's start a positive music challenge. Every single person start sharing, start promoting positive music. Whether it's Trinidad, whether it's soca, we have a number of genres in the country.
Yes.
I said, let's start pushing positive music. Let's make positive music go viral. Yes, some persons would have responded, some persons would have shared and whatnot, but did it go viral?
No.
However, now, if I put up a status now, and now, no disrespect to anybody and their families, if I put up a status now, and I say, Mr. St. Clair now slap Natasha,
Oh, God.
or Mr. St. Clair is my new partner.
Or Mr. St. Clair have a drug block and I found that out and you put that up on your status.
Instant viral.
By tonight, you on TV6 News.
Instant.
Catholic news and all.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
So
Have you on the front
that's
page of the
why I
Catholic
say that everybody, we need to accept responsibility.
Yep.
So the same persons who have been challenging me about there not being positive music and so forth, I said, what are you doing to contribute positively to society?
Correct. If this
I said,
music,
I understand your problem.
Yeah.
I said, and no one is telling you to accept it. I said, but as an individual, what are you doing to contribute positively to society? We
Correct.
talk about music being influential, right? There are many things that are influential. You know what is the biggest influence to us? Our environment.
Correct.
Right? The way our parents or guardians choose to raise us. These things are also influential. Why aren't we focusing on all the other things in society that contribute negatively to the environment to create, the artists producing these kind of topics? Sad to say, we created our own monsters. The new generation, they have a different mindset to even my generation and generations before. It's a psychological thing, You understand? This new generation, remember, is all about individuality, right? Just like we have the advancement of the LGBTQ movement and other different things in society, we have to get up to the times. How do we appeal to this new generation to follow the right path? By exercising a dictatorship type of, mentality? That's not going to work.
Agreed. And I see the same thing happening. It happens every generation, because when I was growing up, I was born in 1974, so I grew up in the 80s and 90s, right? And we had these same conversations from our parents and their generation about the music we were listening to, and the influence that it had on us. And again, when we look at other popular genres of music like hip-hop and like dancehall, the people who were supporting the gangster rap and in the US were not just black people, you know. White people were doing it as well. That's why it became so popular and sold so many records. So let's understand that it's not just, as Delicia was saying, it's not just the artists themselves or their peers or their family and friends are supporting this music, but everybody is supporting it and making it popular and making it viral.
But do we want it to be separate and apart? What I'm saying here, and I still don't agree with that. An artist does not have the responsibility, or they do not have the responsibility to know and be aware of how they're shaping minds.
I disagree with that as well. I believe they also have a responsibility.
Of course they do, and this is what I'm saying. They must understand how influential they are too as well. And I keep saying, and I told you this many times in our discussions and off air, and I'll say it now. Trinidad music, and for those of you just joining us, sorry, you're listening to Dependency, and we are speaking with Miss Delicia Patterson. We're speaking Trinidad music, and Miss Patterson is Jelano's manager. Popular. Some of you may have not heard of the person. You're hearing the name for the first time. He's a very popular Trinidad artist. Miss Patterson explained how Trinidad came about, and a lot of people associated Trinidad with Trinibadness. That's how it was presented, or some people believed it was. Ms. Patterson just cleared that up. So if you wanted to hear that, you could have to go back at the end of the show to hear the beginning of the program where Ms. Patterson explained how Trinidad, and the name was conceptualized by American, right? So you're listening to Ms. Patterson this morning, and
Garth, if I may just interject before you go on, just to input this into the point that you're going to make in terms of the artist as not just as an influencer, but as an entrepreneur. Because you are a musician as well, you're an artist as well. You don't do music as a hobby. You do it to earn money at certain points in time, right? So you are going to produce the kind of music that will sell.
No, I choose the wrong one to make money, which is calypso.
Well, no, but the point I'm making,
no, I'm just trying to lighten the conversation.
No, but the point I'm making is that
let me say what you
regardless of the genre of music, most musicians want to make music that fulfills their own artistic potential, but also can make them a living.
All right, good. Now, what I'm saying is that there's still a responsibility, and for Trinidad music to win a national award, you know what they could do? If the music is so popular, it's so powerful, and it's so strong, Trinidad music should influence a change in the gang wars going on in Trinidad and Tobago. You see, anytime they could do that, bring 6 and 7 together in one video with they drinking milk and saying no longer table talking, I am telling you, Ms. Patterson, that is when this country will embrace it, because it stopped blood and mayhem. Because if they're so influential, okay, this is my point of view. I am thinking that they should help, because the Trinidad artists sitting back and looking at gang warfare going on. What are they doing in that regard to bring that together? That is what I would love to see, and I know society would accept it there and then wholeheartedly.
I want to touch on something. You keep saying that this is how it was presented to us, and this is what they're singing about, and all these different things. But we're forgetting the part about, I can assure you, almost all Trinidad artists or local dancehall artists have positive songs.
I'm sure they do.
I can assure you of that. So then why are we still saying this is how it was presented to us? Because these same artists would have been, who made it popular?
Not me, not people, not a certain part. Who made it popular? Young people.
Let me ask a question. Right? So the artists, they watching their own song on YouTube
no,
3 million times. Hold on.
No.
They calling their own self to book themselves. They paying themselves. When they go to the event, they performing for themselves.
No. That is not. Don't try
So,
to do that.
No, I'm trying to break
Try
it
to
down.
give the audience that.
I'm trying to break
that's
it
not what
down.
we're saying.
So, but then the people who are offended by the music are not the people who are consuming it. That's what you're saying?
The people who are offended by the music, seeing what it is doing negatively to some.
Clearly, they're in
of
a
our
minority
people.
because the people who supporting the music are in the minority and making the bad music, quote unquote, popular.
Okay, so the guy making a living off of it, but then again, why are we not? Like, let me go back to Lil Wayne again. Lil Wayne caused children here to end up in hospital because they were influenced by what he sang and what he put a video on showing people drunk and look how Lil Wayne started looking. And yes, he's a millionaire, he have this and he's very influential, top 10, okay. But then he caused some lives to be lost. So then I could sing a calypso stating that cocaine is bad, is who could use it could try it. I wouldn't do that.
I totally understand what you're saying. And while a concern like that is valid, again, it begs the question to the persons who are being influenced by it. What is their psychological activity like? Right? Now, Mr. Sinclair, if I am an artist, me, Delicia Patterson, and I am singing whatever music I decide to sing, and the both of you all decide to tell me, Delicia, this type of music, as much as it giving you traction or whatever, it's not sustainable for the long run and da-da-da-da-da. Now, with my level of intellect and experience and logic, I will receive that constructive criticism and channel it in a positive way. But that is me, right? Sylvia Patterson and Lickard Andrews raised me. I cannot speak for youths in vulnerable communities who are easily influenced, right? We need to remember that a dictatorship attitude will not work. Nobody is saying that Trinidad and Tobago needs to accept whatever they get. No one is saying that. We need to understand that you have to treat with it in a special type of way. How do we fix the problem? By barking? By telling them, by being judgmental?
Or understanding where these artists are coming from and why they're singing what they're singing. Anybody ask them that?
How about they're singing what they're singing, right? But why? Why are they singing what they're singing? Like you rightfully said, you just said it. Why are they singing what they are singing?
Because
why is their environment encouraging them to produce this type of music? We keep focusing on the artists, and that is what I am here for. To shift the narrative away from just blaming the artists only. Again, I will repeat, this does not negate the fact that obviously they have a responsibility, but the listeners have a responsibility.
Too?
The DJs have a responsibility.
No, let's start with the listener. What responsibility does the listener have?
To promote positive music.
Right? So we're not going to promote the music that encouraging children to use drugs. We're definitely not going to promote that. So
what about the other music in society that contributing to other ills? Right. What about the music that also contributing to honing, to dressing naked,
to drinking alcohol,
to what about all this other music? We are playing blame game and not choosing to accept responsibility and focus on solutions. This is not sweet TNT anymore. We've been, all right, we complain about everything.
We do.
This, are we in sweet TNT? No, we're not.
Where we
right?
are? Where are we?
We just in TNT.
No, well, I listen again. We, that equates, that sort of equates to the comment. Trinidad is not a real place. It is a real place, and the Trinidad and Tobago is still sweet. There's just certain elements who are putting a sour taste to it. But Trinidad and Tobago is a sweet place.
And that's your point of view, not mine.
But-
Just like how you focusing on the artist being responsible for what is being put out there, and that's your opinion and not mine. My opinion is Trinidad is not a sweet place for me anymore.
Okay, now let me just add this. There are times I've been to Mount St. Benedict. I was a client at Mount St. Benedict at one time. And sometimes I would sit on the balcony and look out. It overlooks, it has a majestic look of Port of Spain, right?
Yes, it does.
And being up there, which is a very peaceful and quiet environment, and I'm looking down and I'm saying, you know, this place is a really beautiful place. But from the time you go down in it, and you meet from the unmanly driver and the courteous driving on the road, and that it changes everything.
True,
but
not
the
a Trinidad
place
artist.
is the
You talk
place.
about the driver, is not an artist.
What's that?
You say you talk about from the time you meet a bad driver on the road or whatever. Why the driver? Why not an artist? Because we're focusing on the artist, not so?
No, I was just using that as an analogy of
I know
Trinidad being a sweet place when you look at it, but the behaviors of some people is what sours it, and this is what we're talking about here, and it's been soured by a runaway crime situation that every country now putting out advisories on us, and if the Trinidad music can help influence a change in that, then I'll be very appreciative, and people can correct me if I'm wrong on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you are. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. The thing is, Ms. Patterson is here with us. Natasha has her view as well, and I, Garth Sinclair, never sang a calypso that encouraged war among races. I never sang a calypso encouraging drinking and alignment and you know, smoking and kind. Never sang one day.
All right.
But it didn't make me no money. I was George.
I was now going to bring up that.
No, remember, let me give you a chance to speak. As I said, I was George. I remember when he got himself in some, when Rash Shorty blazed him for the Tata, as he said he was singing. I was saying, well, you know what? I sang Plant the Land. I sang, you know, live hard for your country and work hard for your country. And he had to sleep in the stadium to go Asoka Monarch rehearsal. You know, from the time he sang Bottom in the Road, everybody started taking him on. So we understand what you say.
Right.
Go ahead.
So I'm glad how you bring up Iowa. Right?
If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are speaking with Ms. Delicia Patterson. After this, what she's talking, we're going to take a break and come back, and we have more stuff to show you. Go ahead.
Right. So I'm glad how you bring up Iowa. The song right before this program started was a song by Mr. Garth Sinclair. How patriotic are we? And I wasn't sure of the title of the song.
We Anthem.
We Anthem.
Well, the anthem.
The Anthem.
But it also
right?
it also says, is it We Anthem or is it We and Them? Go ahead.
All right. The Anthem. That's the name of the song, right? Okay. Now I was listening to the lyrics and whatnot, and I hear forth from the love of liberty, you know, the wonderful words of our national anthem. Just late last year, when the same Iowa George released the national anthem song, soca song, the entire country went ballistic. Like if he did the worst thing possible on earth. You understand?
You don't think it was the
no,
going ballistic was justified?
No, I don't. And again, that's my personal view.
Okay.
Now, Iowa chose to put a spin on the national anthem in a soca form, right? Because soca is quote unquote our national music, right? In you know, unofficially, right? And obviously, everybody talking about the negative music it have out there. So Iowa decided, here's what, let me take the national anthem and put a spin to it. So persons who probably forget the principles we're supposed to be standing on, you know, they will remember it, right? And it's in a soca format, so it will be more catchy, right? And perhaps the youths will catch on to it a little more, which they did. But what did society do? Almost crucify Iowa for doing that. You understand? Now, again, there's a difference with not something being not your style, not your taste, not liking it is fine. I'm not saying that everybody had to accept it because he did that and, they should accept it. That's fine if you don't accept it. But the way, when I looked on social media and I saw some of the words that they were saying about him, you understand? The commentary, how people express themselves about what he did.
Well, you all
It was
contradicting,
terrible.
Natasha. You all contradicting yourselves here now. Here's why. Let me explain.
How?
One comment was just made that society has a responsibility as well.
Yes.
Good. Well, then society this time took up the responsibility to protect our anthem. Hold on. Listen. The thing is, I was neither here nor there. I just said, here we go, I was crazy, yes. But thing about it is, if you drunk before you sing the anthem, something wrong. And by the time I will come on stage to put that anthem on, it's how people will still be drinking. And he could tell them some people will stand still, but there are those who will be jumping up in the background, those who drink. You don't want that when an anthem is playing, regardless of what genre of music it is played in. However, my problem with it was, and this is what the Calypso is all about, all the got the knickers in a bunch when I did that to the anthem, okay, but are we living the words of our anthem? I find it was hypocritical. I find the outrage was a little hypocritical because we really not living the words of our anthem. And that was my problem. And this is what made this song, this guy so I doing here so powerful, because it speaks to that, standing side by side and every creed and race finding an equal place. That to me is more of the problem than what Iowa did.
But then it also begs the question, did you receive authorization from the president or the prime minister to include some of the lyrics from the national anthem in your song titled The Anthem?
No, I didn't use the melody. I used the words. Those are ordinary words. Those are not copyrighted words. Those are not every creed and race finding word not copyrighted.
Okay, but at the end of the day, you chose to use the words that are not copyrighted to contribute positively to society in the format of Kaiso, which is your taste. Right? Now, Kaiso is not popular music in this current generation.
No, it's not.
So therefore, it would not go viral.
No.
And I'm just trying to focus on the facts. Right? However, I am sure, let's just say a Trinidad artist decides to take some of these same lyrics and put it on a song and put a spin to it.
Yeah, that wouldn't go down.
We have to admit, we are all contradicting ourselves if we really try to spin it from left to right, up and down. And why aren't we focusing on how to fix it?
Agreed. And I want us to come back to that point in terms of not just the responsibility of the artist, because again, a lot of the people who are talking about, Trinidad as a negative influence, they don't even know, they can't name a Trinidad artist. They can't name a Trinidad song. They don't know these individuals who are singing these songs. They don't know where they come from. They don't know their history. They don't know their background. So what are you criticizing, really? A snippet that you have seen on social media of a video?
That went viral.
Or a piece of a song that you happen to hear and it was labeled as Trinidad and you say, well, all of that music bad. What are you really criticizing? Do you really understand where this music comes from and who is making it? As I go back to my point, the why. Do we understand why these artists are singing these kind of lyrics? Did we understand back then when I was growing up why Buju and Beanie Man and Bounty Killer and all of these fellas were singing these things? We as young people growing up and listening to the music, we understood where it came from because we understood that Jamaica is a society that does not approve of homosexuality for different reasons. And that is why they capitalized on that sentiment and made it popular to denigrate homosexuals. And of course, listening to it as a young person, I didn't hold those views. I don't hold those views towards homosexual or LGBT community, as we say now. But I was dancing and singing along.
To what?
to the lyrics of the dancehall music in the 80s and 90s, which was yes, right. I was singing along hard and dancing.
Yeah, because that before
but I did not
correct.
subscribe to those values in my personal life.
So let me ask a question. You all know who is Jay-Z, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're right. You all know he's like a billionaire.
Yes.
No, right? Mm-hmm. You all know Jay-Z used to be, for want of a better term, a criminal.
He was a drug dealer, yes.
Yeah,
right.
50 Cent as well.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at 50 Cent now.
Mm-hmm.
He has numerous movies and TV shows and whatnot.
Correct.
Right?
Why you think that happened?
Hold on. I'm getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these are the people we look up to, right? In terms of international artists and so forth.
No,
they would have taken
admire,
their...
not look up to.
Okay, correct.
Admire.
Correct.
Right?
Admire.
Yes.
Right?
And look up to, of course,
well, yeah, some
who doesn't
persons
want
look
to
up
be
to
like
them.
a Jay-Z and
Right?
married by Beyonce.
Now, the
please.
thing about it is, over time, they would have improved, changed, advanced, adapt, and all these different things with time, right? Obviously, they would have probably received the same backlash or whatever.
They did.
However, they would have catapulted that into something bigger and better. What we are doing now is just blatantly being the average black parent. Don't do this. Don't sing that. You understand?
Yep.
And I am telling you from personal experience, that is not going to work. We need to focus on what is causing this sort of powerful, form of expression through the music. And that's how I look at it.
All right. So we're going to take a break, right?
We'll talk about
and when we return, we speak about change of environment and change of how people see themselves, and that will influence, because I was just having a conversation with Dale a minute ago, and he agrees with you and with the sense that it's the same way rap music and all of these music that's so popular was born. They started singing about their conditions.
Correct.
And what they're going through.
Correct.
And people identified with it.
Of course.
And that is what made it popular. So yes, but environment, we could talk about that when we return from this break. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we're having a very robust discussion about influence of music, especially Trinidad music. You missed the explanation from Ms. Patterson how Trinidad came about, but it had nothing to do with badness. Again, when it was introduced to the wider society, what we saw was when the music was playing in the background, what we were seeing was badness. People with weapons, people with drugs, alcohol, showing a lifestyle that some parents wouldn't want their children to be involved in, but they can't stop it.
No, they can't.
Because it's influential. So then how do we balance it? That's the question. We thank you for joining us.
Because as much as the parents and the older generation is going to want to censor, we know censorship does not work in any form or fashion. And you could censor it or try to censor it as much as you want. Young people will find the music that they like and they enjoy and they relate to.
I want to draw a reference to some other artists.
After the break.
Okay, no problem.
Right, so folks, we're going to take a break. And Shobna, when you return, you're going to play a little bit of video A again from Jelano, and play a verse and chorus, and then come back to us. We'll be right back. Stay right there.
Morning. Listen now. Has noticed something out. Them new people on the Bobby Road. Where's that? Girl, the man is passing up and down in front of here with a set of woman.
I really noticed some woman living there, And they can't even say as much as good morning.
Well, listen now. I wonder if it's human trafficking. You think it's that?
So, how can you spot and identify perpetrators and victims of trafficking? Many victims are found living and working together in the same place and sleep in shared and inappropriate spaces. Victims work excessively long hours. They often sleep in the daytime and work long nights. They are often escorted everywhere they go and may appear to be malnourished. They may show signs of physical abuse, drug and alcohol use, and may also appear withdrawn, fearful, or intimidated. Victims who are migrants are often not in possession of their identity or immigration documents and have irregular immigration status. Perpetrators can be male or female and may appear to be managing or controlling the victims. And they may even at times appear to be the victim's best friend, boyfriend, or employer.
We are the counter-trafficking unit of the Ministry of National Security, Trinidad and Tobago, safeguarding human life.
Back on sharing all your personal details on social media. It is nice, it's really nice, but not everyone needs to know where you're going.
Ion Dependency with Garth and Natasha.
Reality radio at its best, where every life is a biography.
Sundays at 10 a.m. and exclusively on 95.5 FM.
And streamed live on the Ion Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Concern for Carnival. That's what the police service is saying to you. And this message, courtesy the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Communications Unit. Right, we're back. Oh, Jelano, Shortman, let's go back to that video.
Yep.
Play a little bit of it. Jelano, and we'll be right back with you. And listen to the lyrics if you're just joining us. This is the client of Miss Delicia Patterson.
And it's called Take It Down. And
how many views again, Miss Patterson? 50,000 plus?
Yes. And when we come back, we'll discuss the environment that Delicia was talking about. What is the environment that these young people who are singing these songs are? What are the challenges they're facing in life, and why are they choosing this expression in Trinidad?
Let's go with the video.
Yeah, me no blocks. Get to you with the facts. And anything me say, me not take back. No. Yeah, me no biggie.
Vex the maze.
Blood that shed, yes, we have a sacrifice. And the beast is never satisfied. How much longer are we gonna help the evil man feed his appetite? Ugly guns, them advertise. And besides, girls, them some money, that's the price. So them praise the machine more than them praise the king nowadays. And that is life. Can't say me never contribute to the slackness. Not for the songs me sing influence badness, but not much more than an actor or an actress. Yo, still me sing good songs for uplift the youths and balance it. And me even give a if the songs hit, just as long as me preach when me practice. So take it down, get how you take it down. No touching be go in a bloody town. The children them want go a playground, and the people them want go a stage show. So take it down, get how you take it down. No touching be go in a bloody town. The children them want go a playground, and the people them want go a stage show. Can't fully dance, fully smart now. Elevation, yeah man, I work on my craft now. Give thanks for my mistakes, cause without it me can't grow. Me remember the days we tighter than cornrow. So take it down flatter than the grass with the lawnmower. The youths are blaze hotter than the wicked and flambeau. Police can't stop it till we get it in the traffic. So be careful when you chat it, me warn you. Keep your eyes open. Don't make nobody know the location. No, stop promote Satan. Tonight we don't want to hear out the AK sound. No. So when we liming and we grinding, yeah, we want to see the hot girl them whining. We no want to see no boy get out of timing. Don't bother spoil the vibes, me I drink. So take it down, get how you take it down. No touching be go in a bloody town. The children them want go a playground, and the people them want go a stage show. So take it down, get how you take it down. No touching be go in a bloody town. The children them want go a playground, and the people them want go a stage show. So take it down, get how you take it down. No touching be go in a bloody town. The children them want go a playground. People people them want go a stage show. So take it down, get a you take it down. No turn Trinibad in a bloody town. The children them want go a playground. The people them want go a stage show.
Positive song, one of the many positive songs that we understand he has released. And it's sounding good, but and he himself has confessed in that song, if you were listening to the lyrics, that he has contributed to the badness and the slackness.
He's
he
talking
said
to
that.
them. He's talking to the youth. Take it down.
Yeah.
So
he has acknowledged his responsibility as an artist, but at the same time, as I have watched a video of him talking about himself and his music, and from what I heard him say, he was responding to the fact that the music he was producing and singing and writing was not getting the kind of traction that he wanted or that he desired. So he decided, you know what, let me jump on this badness thing and see what happens, because he's coming from an environment where, this is from what little I have heard from interviews I've watched with him, he's coming from an environment where this is his one talent that he thinks can take him out of the ghetto, out of poverty, something that he can elevate himself with, elevate his family with, and create a legacy for his children, if he has any. I'm sure, I don't know if he does, but create a legacy for his children.
Well, he has, I understand, siblings.
And siblings
he
that
takes care of.
A family to take care of.
Yeah.
But so a lot of the, as I was mentioning earlier, a lot of the impetus for some of these art, and Delisa can correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of the impetus for any musician who is getting into the business is to make money. It is a business. Business equals money.
Music is a business, but
music is a business.
Also, influence too is a business, and it should be. There should be some freedom of speech should come with responsibility as well. And I am telling you, society, what made Iowa change his mind, and he said it publicly about using the anthem, is when the Prime Minister gave his take on it. Then he realized. So he waited until 1 million people saw it. But this one powerful person in Trinidad and Tobago said what he said about how, and describing how he feels about Iowa's contribution or treatment of the anthem. Iowa decided, okay, he's not going to use it. But I saw a video with him at Bishop's Fete. I think it was Bishop's. And he asked people, he started by using the anthem there. But I was looking at the background. People were drinking and jumping up. That is why the line in my Kaiso says, nobody jumping around, nobody drinking. You can't be, it's like water and oil. You cannot have the anthem playing and people drinking rum. Anthem normally plays at the start of an event.
Correct.
So you playing the anthem in the high-pitched middle of an event with people drinking, how responsible are people to be and treat
It's inappropriate
Of course
in that setting. And I mean, I for me, my thing with that song, it didn't sound good to me. It was just foolishness to me. It didn't fit the context of what he was trying to achieve. It just sounded bad to me.
But remember, he's a marketing genius too as well. So, but
it
Ms.
wasn't well done for me. But
forgive me, I might be a little discombobulated.
yeah, you just got some bad
really
news. Right.
That on the topic I would just to touch for a couple seconds. You know, children love that rendition. You know, majority of the children that I would have noticed on social media, TikTok and whatever, majority of the remake of the videos with children doing it, they actually enjoyed that version. Version of the national anthem.
And that says a lot.
That says a lot.
So
Again, it speaks to understanding the appetite
and interpretation.
Of the new generation.
Because people interpret music differently.
But there was also a video that went viral where two artists, I couldn't remember the name, Gary, I don't know if you saw it, where they were singing to soca beat, 1 + 1, 2 + 2, 3 + 3, 4 + 4, and children was A, B, C, D, E, F. So that was influential too, and I enjoyed looking at that.
But did I what? Okay, to the older heads, so to speak, or to persons more seasoned, I should say, right? Yes, because I'm using they, not we, because I didn't feel the same way. They would have felt, I guess, emotional. Some sense of patriotism was, not, followed or whatever. But again, the children enjoyed it.
Mhm.
So you're going to see an entire generation of children enjoying lyrics like Forged from the Love of Liberty, etc. And we're going to condemn that. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
So where can we meet in? Let me share this article, right? Before we go to your point about where can we meet in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Let me read it for the people.
Still and talk about the environment. I think that's very important.
Yeah, so the environment, that's right. Now Dale busy looking for that clip. Gary, I don't know if he found it, but I really wanted to find that clip for the minister, what she said, so that it is not misconstrued. And again, I agree with her, because the track that we just played, if the ghetto youth listen to that, they will change. Because Jelano pleading with the ghetto youth to take it down, all your, get all the education, do the right thing. Why aren't they listening to that?
Now, do you know Jelano has a soca collab with Marshall Montano?
Yes, yeah.
All right. Do you also know that he has a song with Sizzla Kalonji?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
And he has songs with Ravi B and with numerous other local artists. He also has a song with the late Ricardo Drew that's unreleased. It was actually supposed to release for this carnival. You understand? So I can also identify numerous other local dancehall or Trinidad artists who are trying to do collabs, who are trying to sing soca, who are trying to sing positive music. But we spoke about music and being able to, gain them income, some form of income.
Yes.
So I think that's, that will, we didn't speak about the environment as you just mentioned.
Right, so let's talk about that.
I want to gonna come and tie into that.
Yes. Now look at the comment up there, right? On WhatsApp, Gary just opened there. Morning,
Trinidad
guys.
music has gone from singing about their circumstances to sending violent threats to other gangs. If the adults know and understand the lyrics, then they will know.
And again,
Is that true or false?
I wouldn't generalize it, because
Is it true or false?
I would not say it's true, neither false, because
And
that
which
will
artists are
probably
they
be
speaking about?
A few. There are numerous artists who are singing positive music, or music that does not include what this person just spoke about.
But
This
wasn't somebody
person has
killed?
Hold on. Now, when you try to identify specific things that's going on in the industry, this is a minute situation, right? You all may not agree, but it is a minute situation. So
agree.
you might see one or two artists singing content that, causing certain circumstances. However, there are hundreds of other songs that does not consist of the same content.
So they're focusing on the negative?
Why are these couple songs viral, and why do they have 3 million views plus when there are hundreds of other songs? So the reason why I said I don't want to agree nor disagree is because I'm not going to generalize it. That is not what the entire movement is about. It
But
has
Delicia,
taken a negative turn,
Miss
yes.
Patterson, somebody was killed just last month because they did a video dissing somebody else from another gang. That's what we heard. That's what came over the news, right?
Understood.
This is okay. So what I'm saying to you is, we understand the environment. We understand that the music
What
can
was the
also be
connection
used
to the music?
to poke. Well, because the music was used to diss the person, and it went on video. And we understand that this 6 and 7 thing, right? And even a guy from Jamaica did a commentary on it. He spoke about the guy doing a video that pissed some boss off, and the boss decided he's not taking that. and it was Trinidad music. So understand that that is the negative part of it that society is afraid of, and when it results in the taking of life. You're talking about the views, and you continue to focus on the views and the views and the views. Okay, but is it okay then to sell a few souls so that you could make $1?
All right, so
because the same ghetto you two is still loving it. It's the same ghetto you dying.
I focusing on the views, but you focusing on blaming the artist.
No, I'm not.
Why aren't we focusing on the solution? All right, let's focus on what we
Ms.
could
Patterson, you see
agree
words?
on.
Hold on. You see words? Words have a very, very powerful way of making people think strange. And the words that you're using, I am not, what you just said about the artist, I'm blaming the artist, or I'm, no, something
I
else.
said you told me I'm focusing on the views, and I choose to respond to you by saying you focusing on blaming the artist.
No, I'm not blaming the artist.
Well, that's how I look at it, just like how you look at it as I am focusing on the views. I am not focusing on the views. I am focusing on solutions to correct the root problem of what is causing all of this.
Go ahead with the solution.
All right?
Let me hear the solution.
So, what can we agree on? Because obviously, we would agree to disagree and we would have different views. We are 3 to 4 different people in studio sitting here. We would not have the same view. Respectfully, what do we agree on? We agree that music is powerful. We agree that music is influential.
Yes.
We
Yes.
agree
Very.
that it is an expression of art.
Yes.
Right?
An expression of self and
Correct.
Yes.
So we could
environment.
agree on these things.
Right, yes, we agree
So
on
why can't we also, because we agree on that, so this is where we meet in the middle and try to balance everything. So this is what we agree on. So if we agree that music is powerful and all these different things, let's take it back. Do we have a substantial music industry in this country that's following an international business music model? Do we even have that in this country? We don't even have a soca monarch for the younger soca artists coming up to look forward to, right? We're trying to get on the same page and we're trying to find balance and we're trying to focus on what we could agree on, right? Music is so powerful. Music is so influential. We all
Your
know
mic
that.
is off, Gary. Your mic is off.
Oh, shucks.
All right, so my mic was off. I do apologize to persons who did not hear me clearly. I don't know if they would have picked up
Yes,
through
well,
the other
but it
mics
would have
and so
been
forth.
very low,
It would have been low.
yes.
All right, so just to touch on what I was saying again, I was saying that we have 4 different individuals sitting in the studio here. We would have different opinions. We would agree to disagree, right? So let's focus on what we could agree on to find the middle ground and find some
Sure,
sort
sure,
of
because
balance.
that's what the program is about.
Right?
We don't we
So-
don't want to alienate the artists
Yes.
and the people that they represent or the unit or the environment that they represent. No, we're not going to do that.
Right. So we agree that music is powerful, it is influential, it is an expression of art. You would have also said an expression of self, what you're feeling, your mood, your vibes, what's in your head, whatever. Right? So if we all agree on that, I then asked the question, what is the state of the business side of the music industry? Do we have a standard internationally, international model, sorry. Do we have a international model or some sort of structure that follows international standards? Because I'm sure the average artist in any part of the world would aspire to one day reach, if it's a UK stage or an American stage, correct?
Yes.
And, by some dream or whatever, win, a Grammy, right? Some may think it's far-fetched. I think it's somewhat far-fetched still, right? However, I've been seeing improvement, right? I've been seeing improvement. But what do we have any kind of standards? Do we have a benchmark? Do we have
a pathway?
A school focusing strictly, and I'm not saying schools don't offer courses and stuff in music and these things. But do we have any kind of business or school focusing strictly on the evolution of culture, on music, on teaching persons coming up about the different aspects of the music industry? Do we have those standards in this country? Again, this is me getting back to the why the state reach where it reach, right? Now, to become a soca artist, let's just say we wish for all youths to become soca artists because that is our cultural music. You know how difficult it is to become recognized in the soca arena? It is very difficult. If you don't know a DJ, if you don't have a friend, family member, or somebody could get you a link or whatever, it is very difficult to find a space, a solid ground, or to find some sort of, sustainable position in the soca industry. It's facts, right? Kudos to the young ones coming up who are making a name for themselves, who are doing great, producing awesome music. The average person, the average youth in the ghetto, let's just see, right? They have no money. They have no educational background because they drop out of school because their parents can pay for them and whatever, right? Let's just say they're influenced by whatever they influence when they get up, when the day come, right? And have nobody around trying to help them or steer them correct. They're trying on their own. Yeah, they probably might get a job by the grocery, by the hardware, CPAP, whatever, right? But they're telling themselves they believe they have an artistic ability, right? And they want to become a soca artist. It is very difficult for that individual to even start to record a song. Do we even understand the cost to record a song? The cost to pay to mix and master it? The cost to produce an exceptional music video? The cost to produce an exceptional music video is $15,000 plus TT dollars, right? What about outfits? If they get a couple gigs, what are they wearing? They ain't going, no disrespect to the business, because I've bought stuff there, so no disrespect to you all. They ain't going Rattans to buy clothes to go and perform, because God forbid they go and buy a Rattans outfit or imitation outfit, so to speak, to go on stage. The entire country is going to laugh and blacklist them.
For what?
But it's going to happen.
So wait, hold on. And I am not, because I love my Rasta and me care about all you.
And that, again, I've shopped there before. I have no shame in that.
But who could tell what I
you're not going
to
that's the right stage. Close that. Come on. Let me be real.
Let's be real.
You understand? Let's be real. If you see an artist ain't looking the best, everybody is going to have something negative to say.
So they don't sell Timberland by Rattan?
No, they don't.
No. Stop it. No, but I get what you're saying. But isn't that influence from outside, though, that you must bling and the bling must be expensive?
Right. So the reason why I wanted to bring up all of that is if we already agree, we all agree that the music is powerful. Why aren't persons who are in positions with the resources, with the funding, trying to improve the status of our music business model in this country? Look at Rihanna from Barbados. Rihanna is now a billionaire. Not millionaire. She is now a billionaire. This young girl from a Caribbean country. Now, Rihanna does not sing about guns and different things. If you look at a couple of her videos, you would see it.
Racy.
You would see
yes.
bare chest for the world to see.
No, that's right. Because they have to sell something to get popular. Is it that?
Something. So it's okay to be you're contradicting yourself.
No. No. What I'm saying is could it be that just as the bad music, and I've just used that in a context, right? Just as the music that appeals to the ghetto, you think nakedness is what made her become famous, and not the fact that she could sing?
Well, not just It would have been a
let's
number
not
of
go there
things.
now.
Because
she didn't start. She didn't
It would be a number of things that would have,
revealing
contributed
herself
to her success.
until she had some level of autonomy of her own likeness and image in the public domain.
Advocate, people, calm down now. Only relax. Why everybody getting the knickers in a bunch here? I'm just saying. I'm just using different analogies to find out what really made people famous. Is it what they sang, their voice, or what they wore, or didn't wear?
Controversy.
Thank you.
Controversy.
That's the point I'm making.
Right. So, after Rihanna would have put out all these different music videos and albums and whatnot, look at how her country would have rallied behind her, supported her, and to this day, the present Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, she is an advocate for Rihanna. She would have invited Rihanna to the country when they had, can't remember what they had, but
independence,
right? The independence, given
some
her
other thing
keys, made her home a national monument and something like a museum. But this is somebody who being naked in her music videos. Okay, not naked, but bare chested in her music videos.
Right.
And this is the Prime Minister of a country endorsing this individual.
But she's Mia Mottley's an open-minded or more woke individual.
Well, maybe we need a more woke.
No, but, let me read a comment here. Good morning. Let's look at a comment on WhatsApp here, ladies. Good morning. That lady has not said anything to convince me to like that kind of music. But that song from Jelano is very powerful. We need to hear more of that kind of songs to turn their music around. Maybe the reason why we don't have much likes, or he doesn't have much likes, is because we are so fed up of that kind of music but his song is great. He needs to go out and sing that song to get a change of, for the music, I guess.
So I would love to respond to this.
Who is hiring him to sing that song, number
one? Let me just
one?
tell people who they listen to before you do that. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are speaking with Miss Delicia Patterson. She has been here since 10, speaking about the music industry, and her ideas of what can bring about change, and of course meeting the middle ground with Trinidad music and the entire population.
So I would love to respond to this person. A pleasant good morning, and thank you for listening and sharing, your views. Now you're saying that I have not said anything to convince you to listen to that kind of music, and that is fine. That is quite okay. You're saying the song from Jelano is very powerful. You need to hear more of those kind of songs. In case you weren't listening from the beginning of the program, I would have started off by saying Jelano has been singing for approximately 10 years. For a total of about 5 or 6 years, he would have been singing conscious reggae music and all these different things. One of his first releases is a song entitled One Love, which was played in the previous program when I was here in studio, right? One of his first contributions is a song called One Love. Right? And he would have continued along that path for quite some years and not getting any sort of traction, not getting any popularity. And from the time he started, he sang a song entitled What Them Want. He sang a song called What Them Want. Instant hit. That song presently has over 5 million views on YouTube. He was booked and busy every single weekend by all walks of life.
No, let me ask a question. What them want? Who was he referring to?
Society.
There you go. And that appeal. So when you say society, what do you mean? The hierarchy, the government, the politicians?
Society. Now let me give a disclaimer. The views expressed by Delicia Patterson does not reflect or represent the views of anybody else other than myself. Furthermore, for obvious reasons, respectfully, I know we would want to dive a little further into certain topics, but I still have to put a cap on what I'll be willing to share on national radio.
Fine, no problem.
Right?
But again,
I want to address the comment that the person made.
Go ahead.
All right. So he's saying that he or she is saying that we need to hear more of that kind of music. That kind of music that you're talking about has been out there.
And
it is out there.
And I would like to add that that comment about we need to hear more of those kinds of songs, that needs to be directed to the people who play the songs on the radio.
Right.
They have control over what you hear on the radio. And
You're saying the person also said maybe the reason why that song doesn't have much likes, we are so fed up of that kind of music. Wrong, is because his song is too positive. Plain and simple, it's too positive. If it was more controversial song, you would see the difference. His song is great. Appreciate that. Thank you on behalf of him. He needs to go out and sing that song to get a change of music. No problem. Encourage your neighbors to listen to that kind of music. If you know any promoter, encourage them to book the artists that sing in this kind of music. You yourself, you're on WhatsApp, so that means you have access to social media. Go on YouTube. As an individual, exercise your responsibility because this is what you want. Go on YouTube, go on your WhatsApp status, go on your Facebook, and start to advocate for change. That's all I'm trying to say. So to get back to the environment, because I know we needed to talk about that and time is against us, right? We agreed, we're taking it back to we agreeing that music is powerful and influential and whatnot. Why aren't we taking steps to encourage a better environment, encourage better musical standards, encourage better education for persons who choose to do music? So these sort of opportunities that should be provided on a national level, I'm not saying it's going to change everybody or it's going to change overnight, but these are measures that can be put in place to start to effect change or to see some more positivity, right? Because I would have drawn the example about the average ghetto youth, if they want to do, a soca or whatever, nobody not going to take them on. You understand? You know what we quick to say? That song is psh. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Unless Marshall bring them out, or Kes, or Bungie, or Voice, or whoever, Vayan. Some measures that can be put in place. sorry. That's okay.
No, my computer gone
right?
down, so
the average new artist, the first thing we quick to say is that song is
Tata.
As opposed to this artist needs a bit more grooming. This artist probably don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, because everybody feel they're a music producer, I guess. And again, it goes back to if you don't want to listen to the music, you're free not to listen to it.
But I, as an artist, don't want to be responsible for something that I think that influence negative or influence the young people of this country negatively or influence society negatively. I have to take stock of that, and if people tell me, hey, watch how you're going on, that road you're going on, you might influence because you're powerful, people listening to you. And people tell me that on radio here all the time too. Hey, sometimes you have to be careful, what you say, because sometimes people could misunderstand and interpret it wrong. And all right, fine, and I have to listen to that. And I think when we have Jelano in with us, if we're fortunate to do that in the near future, we'll find out his thoughts, because I listen to him, very humble brother, and he's very sincere. I could tell.
Very eloquent.
Yes.
And and we're willing to sit with him and let him let's do our part in society to see how we could bridge a gap.
Look, somebody commenting there. She doing like something. Now, I would say, whoever that person is commenting, you're contributing negative to society. Because if you have a point to make, you can make your point and still be respectful. So, again, it goes back to, are we as individuals taking responsibility for our own actions and what we put out there?
Correct.
You understand?
But
just a comment like that, I could take it in a negative way and decide to answer with some kind of attitude. But I choose not to do that.
No, you don't.
You know what I mean? I do not have a problem with trying to understand different views as well. But I'm a strong-minded person.
Now listen to me,
and
Ms. Patterson.
I stand on saying that everyone needs to accept responsibility, stop the talking, and let's start focusing on solutions.
And I say the artists too, not everybody. Stop blaming everybody and for not accepting something that they see as negative. How can the artists? Because what you're saying to me is that, hey, you living with me, I just beat a man. Is I love me, you don't love me.
But
That's what you said.
sad to say you
And-
are in the minority.
Well, fine. I prefer that way. What I'm saying
How
to
do
you
we
is,
fix it?
Okay, how do we fix it? First of all, everything has to come in a nice package. Tone, attitude. Don't tell me that I have to accept something because this is my condition, and I know it has to
Can't tell
have a
artists
balance.
what to sing either.
Who's saying but I am telling you what I would like the artist to sing. Jesus, how this is so hard to understand.
And that
But
is
I-
a dictatorship
How
sort
is it so
of
hard to understand?
attitude. That's
If
what
it
you're
is,
doing.
but if it is what I'm singing causing children to use drugs, should I continue and don't care about the children's lives? That's what you're telling me? And society cannot tell me to stop forcing or encouraging children to use drugs, man, Natasha? This is what you're saying, Ms. Patterson?
No, that is not what I'm
continue and
saying.
ignore society.
That's not what I'm
Well,
saying.
okay. So then don't
But
tell me what
again, you coming back and saying, yes, but the artists and the artists, when I still trying to steer the conversation towards the direction of how can we find solutions moving forward. That sort of attitude
No, but
is
you're
not
saying-
going to work.
No, but not
And
we.
I am also saying, no, hold on 1 minute.
No, Ms.
I am
Patterson,
with
no,
you
no,
in
hold on,
studio
no.
here.
I'm
No,
the
wait,
host- I'm the host of
understand
the
what I'm
program.
saying.
No, but no,
Right.
wait, hush. Let's
Right.
not wait.
No, don't
Hold
tell
on.
me hush.
Hold on.
You
Sorry
saying
for using the
you
word hush.
are the host of the program.
Yes.
You're trying to pull a rank on me.
No, we're
Right,
not
you
doing
can
that.
get
I'm
your
just trying
same
to fi-
opinion across in a respectful
Ms.
way
Patterson, first of
without
all-
the hostility.
First of all, we don't have this kind of voice raises on this Sunday morning program. We try to
All
reach
right.
each other in the middle. All right?
Mm-hmm.
We started off the program by saying
Mm-hmm.
that we are on the side of the artists. I don't know.
Well, I didn't
what
get that
language to
just
say
now.
that in.
I didn't get that from your response
Yes,
and your
but
actions
you
just now.
Don't expect me to be irresponsible, even though we are in support of the artists. I'm not going to be responsible, and I apologize for saying hush. That is
Nobody ain't saying that.
on radio friendly language, on friendly language for radio. I'm sorry about that. However, what I am saying to you, do not take the responsibility away from the artist. That the artist has a responsibility to protect our children and to protect lives. And don't tell me because I am telling children it's okay to use cocaine or it's okay to use purple drunk and they are dying in front of me, but because I'm making the money and I'm getting the views, the society can't tell me about it. I'm not going to accept that.
I would
I'm
say
sorry.
you are contributing negative to society because your actions just now just put a negative taste in my mouth. I'm being
Okay,
honest.
fine, because I'm
exactly,
being
and that's
honest
not
too.
the attitude to have.
No, I'm
if we are
sorry, I'm
trying
not
to
going to
fix a
compromise my
situation,
beliefs.
if we are trying to fix a situation among a group of persons who don't have the same logic as the average citizen who probably think they are above all else, all others, right? You're not going to get through to them with that type of attitude.
What attitude?
That is what I am saying. The attitude you just portrayed just now. We are all trying to find the middle ground. We are trying, that's why I steered the topic to try to focus on what we can agree on. I said we are 4 different individuals sitting in here, right? We would have different opinions. What can we focus on that we agree on? We agree that the music is powerful and all these different things. What can we do to correct the situation moving forward?
So you were speaking about the business of music.
Yes.
Right. No.
So I
corporate,
was...
hold on.
Mhm.
Hold on, please. Hold on. Corporate Trinidad and Tobago also big on image.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who told us. Remember, I was in prison, Ms. Patterson.
Mhm.
Remember, the reason this program came about because of my program, my experience with crack cocaine. I was a crack cocaine addict on the street.
Mm-hmm.
When I decided to change my life, I had to change a lot of things. And ask Natasha, there are people in corporate Trinidad and Tobago who specifically say that they don't want their product associated with this brand and Dependency, because we're talking about drugs and we're always interviewing people who are in jail and all of that. Now, we have to soften up a lot of things. Now, if you and your intention is to get corporate Trinidad and Tobago involved in what you're doing, for any, whether it's Caribbean Airlines, whether it's Republic Bank, whether it's whoever, they want a certain image associated with their brand, Ms. Patterson.
Exactly.
And they are not going
Understood.
to accept a genre of music that promotes what they see and what was presented to as violent.
All right, so...
All right? You understanding what I'm saying?
I totally understand that, and I would
Great.
correct you on that, because I am an artist manager, and I am aware of other facts that you would not be aware of. There are certain brands, I don't want to identify, but there are certain big brands that were ready and willing to sign on to this Trinidad movement.
Right.
Right? They were ready and willing, even when the songs contained whatever they contained.
And what happened?
Right? I would have sat in with some directors from these companies. They would have said that, yes, we want to work with this artist or whatever. Quote unquote, we cannot tell them what to sing. However, if they are doing specific advertisements for us or they are representing us for a specific period, this is what they would like. Now, again, things took a turn for the worse, and obviously the narrative is all over the place. So certain opportunities, a pin was stuck.
Elaborate.
I cannot elaborate and give details on certain things, obviously, because contracts would have been signed, non-disclosures would have been signed, and I also said that I chose personally not to speak in depth about certain things that are going on in the street.
Right.
Same way.
But
for obvious
the point
reasons.
the point I was making though, is that corporate Trinidad and Tobago, and that's the point I was just making to you. You said certain things happen, and we know, without you saying it, we know what you meant. Because look at BPTT, for instance. Remember there was look at BP, for instance. There was a incident around the Savannah where they were going to host a function called something to do with pan and all of that. But then they changed their mind because of what they see could happen and bring violence. Somebody was killed right on the spot, actually. And they decide, we gone. And that is how corporate Trinidad and Tobago is. So I understand what you said, and this is my point exactly. If we want them on board, just like you want society, then it's not me to change. It's the artists and what they're selling. That is what they have to change.
Not only the artists, because the artists are ready and willing to produce content that would sell. This person commented, we also need to understand that the hype is what many young persons follow. There are positive artists who sing positive music, but the support is behind the hype. Is the government behind the positive music? Are radio stations behind the positive music? Are we as adults doing enough to push the positive music and find solutions? And I totally agree with this comment. And that's why I keep saying we all have to accept responsibility. The artists singing positive music, they're singing, music to contribute to society, and all these different things. That is not selling. They need opportunities to encourage them psychologically to stay on the right path. A one conversation, not going to do it. A dictatorship attitude, like I said, not going to do it. A negative attitude towards them is also not going to do it. That does not equal, we have to accept it. That does not equal that. And I think that is also the number one thing that persons are misinterpreting. Trying to find solutions does not equal, you have to accept it. You don't accept it, obviously, so how do we fix it? We keep going back, well, the artists, and they need to, and I don't want to listen to that kind of behavior at all.
So then they would not listen to you either, Ms. Patterson?
How they wouldn't listen to me?
No, because
I have been working with these artists. They wouldn't listen to you.
Hold on, sister, hold on. What I'm saying, society. Ms. Patterson, I am in the belly of the beast, I go to each region of civilian conservation and meet the salt of the earth every year, and I know what I'm talking about. I know what I feel for them. I know what, as I said, I came out of the prison system. The fact is that we cannot demand anything of society. We could only ask, and if society responds by saying, okay, you want us on board, then you need to do so. Then that is the common ground right here. That is the middle ground. But don't tell me that I must accept the fact that...
When did I say that? Oh my gosh.
When
did I say that? We keep going back to the same thing. Let's talk about business. Let me let's move away and let's start to focus on the
probably
business.
Try to open the lines and let people share their views.
That too.
Before, 'cause we only have 15 minutes.
Yeah, and I would like to continue this conversation, and this time from the artist's point of view. We would like to hear from Jelano. You said Jelano joined us, Natasha?
Yeah, he it seemed like, I'm not sure if it was him, but he made a comment. He just said greetings. So
I want to hear from him. We want to hear from him too, because let's see if he we could have a meeting of the minds where that is concerned, and if he understands, because as I said, this track we played from him, I love it. I really love it. And I agree when even the article I wanted to share too, that was written in the Express recently, it has some good points, but then it has some points I don't agree with. So when Jelano comes, we could share that as well. And I thank you for sharing this article with us. Now, Ms. Patterson, let me say again publicly, it's the first time in 21 years of our independence, or 22 years, Natasha, I ever tell anybody hush. It never happened before. And I am disappointed in myself for getting so passionate about defending society and what society sees. But I make no apologies for that. If you felt disrespected by what I said, I humbly apologize here this morning for that, because it was no way. We don't invite people here to disrespect them. We've never done that before. This is the first time. Natasha, correct me if I'm wrong, please.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
This is the first time our discussion ever reached this sort of level of contentiousness on this program.
Thank you for your apology.
Ever.
I'm just here to focus on my mission, which is trying to focus on the solutions and music business, which was something I would have also mentioned off air prior to this program. I am trying to contribute towards the solutions.
Look at that message there. Tell me what you think about that.
Good morning. It is sad and unfortunate that the bad boy music does not bring any good message to the youth. For me, that kind of music needs to be banned on the radio stations, just like in Jamaica. All it is encouraging is crime and our brothers killing out each other. I cannot disagree with that comment, but again, the hype that is surrounding the Trinidad music is what people are seeing. And they are not understanding the history, how it came about, and did not even aware of the numerous positive songs that they have. You understand? So at the end of the day, is a discussion, a respectful discussion, and I will stand on what I am saying. Solutions. We are an hour and 46 minutes into this program, and the majority of the conversation has been about complaining what we already know to be the problem. There are negative challenges happening in society. Yes, many different factors contributing towards the negativity. How do we try to fix it?
But you did give some solutions.
Right.
You did.
So I would have started.
Before you go on, just to stick in this last point about, and this comment, the comment before kind of brought it up. I think the advent of the internet is playing also a significant role in how people consume music like this.
Correct. I agree.
Because a lot of it, of course, is not going to be played on the radio because of the language. But having music available and accessible on YouTube and other platforms is giving the artists the freedom that is being denied them by people in society.
Thank you very much.
And this is why they are blowing up like this. This is not something you can censor. It's not something you can control. It's not anything you can prevent young people from listening.
Correct me if I'm wrong. In your personal opinion, do you think banning it on radio is going to make a difference?
No, it won't, because there are many other places people can listen to this music.
And again, I'm here to focus on facts and solutions moving forward. During COVID, I would have started a workshop called Music Business Principles on Instagram. Right? A lot of persons would have reached out to me, a lot of upcoming artists and so forth. Even when I stopped it, after COVID, of course, people would have said, why you stop it? We were so looking forward to your program or your workshop or whatever. So what I did, I tried to identify and observe the basic problems that the music industry has. And again, if you listen to the I-95 Ion Dependency ad, I would have identified not just Trinidad music.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
So
and again, Jelano has just contributed again. He says a majority of the artists singing about and mixing in violence are young and immature.
Right. Okay, there you go. No, that's a perfect explanation. Well said, Jelano.
Right.
So yeah, he's right.
Right. So if you're dealing, so let me just finish the point, and I would, and I would like to address what Jelano just commented and said. Right. So I would have started something called music business principles because I would have observed and identified the basic problems. Some artists don't even know the difference between a manager and a booking artist. They don't even know what is a bio. And these are some of the basic things that an artist needs to have. Some artists who already made a name for themselves, who getting booked and whatever and across the different genres, to this day they still don't operate with a contract. Right? They still don't have a proper bio, proper promotional images. We need to focus on some of the foundational aspects of the business in the music industry. Now, I'm not going to sell all my secrets for free for persons to run with it. So I can be contacted at a later time and date, book a consultation session. Sure, 722-7473. I'm on Instagram at di.media.tt and Music Business Principles. Right? So just to continue with that a little bit. I realize there are so many basic problems that people don't know about. So that I started educating artists, established artists, upcoming artists, Trinidad, soca, rap, whatever you want to sing. Let's focus on the foundational aspects of the business. This is what you need to understand. It is my belief if some of these artists in the vulnerable communities have these opportunities or get the same exposure, they will start to make better choices.
Let's take a call or two for you now.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, you want it?
Hi, good morning. Sure, I don't have a problem.
Okay.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for accepting my call.
Yeah, make it short, caller, because we have time.
I mean, Ms. Patterson, I respect you and I like the way you try to defend your point, but I have to say that I substantially disagree with you, and let me tell you why. And I'm not for censorship. I'm for responsibility. You have to change. These are some of the change. These guys, some of them, they actually are representative of certain groups. When you listen to the lyrics, it's directed to people sending particular messages, and it's not an opinion. It is born out in the facts of what we have seen in the street.
Right.
And I'm saying that there is a responsibility. I agree with you on the greater society in terms of the values we want to perpetuate, and I agree with you. Those people who praise these music, the people who promote them, are as responsible as the people who create it. So I agree with you on that point, but I'm saying, please don't undervalue the responsibility you have as a person who manage people in that industry to steer them away from that. Is a different than talking about the things that you observe in your community and the things that affect you, as opposed to promoting a lifestyle. And that's the issue there. A lot of these young, impressionable minds are being influenced. I mean, it is obvious. You could see it. Right. I live in a community where these things happen. During last year, there were about 4 or 5 murders in my community. And a lot of the people who are associated with it, when you look at them on Instagram and on social media, they are promoting a lifestyle, and that is my concern. So I respect you. I'm not trying to trash you.
I appreciate your contribution.
Thanks a lot, Gary. Thank you, caller. Thanks for your contribution. Hello, good morning.
Morning, guys. Morning to the young lady, Tasha, everybody.
Good morning.
The analogy that was used with Rihanna in Barbados sells tourism, we sell fossil fuel and oil and gas. So she are an asset to Barbados, and I think it have topless beaches in Barbados as well. Let me deal with, there's a responsibility, right? That artists, I understand, Mr. Sinclair, there's a responsibility that these young artists have to realize what you disseminate. Everything. I've spoken to men who in life, sister, and who previously, and they are now old. Everything, most, too much, too many. Yes, they are positive. Too much, too many. kill, gun, and that is what is that is what they are actually living out. They jump in a short drop car all over this country. I would like Jelano and his team and them to, there's communities that don't have a taxi service, so it's a PH. Gun lyrics, and they're different artists. I like many of the tunes, but it's actually directing into gang warfare and attacking one another violently with guys who stray on the outside, and they have a serious responsibility to young people and to who they disseminate that music to. Thanks, Moni.
Thank you
very much.
Ms. Patterson,
I wanted to address
really?
the comment Jelano made about, a lot of artists obviously being immature and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it speaks to what I've been trying to say, the point I've been trying to make.
The ignorance in the industry.
Trying to tell me that, no problem. I have a different mindset. I think differently. I was brought up differently. Persons with impressionable minds who are already seasoned, so to speak. You understand? How you choose to give me the information, you have to choose a different method to try to get the same message across to someone who does not have our method of analogy or logic.
Understanding.
That was the main point of this entire discussion. So the two callers just called, expressed their views respectfully. Thank you for your opinions. Again, all four of us in studio know what the problems are. What are we doing
Gary,
to fix it?
Well, we could come up with some in the next program.
No.
What about that?
How about contact me and give me the opportunity to propel my music business principles program that I would like to, on a national level, to try to begin foundational change.
So you're talking about our ministry contact you, not us.
Anybody with the resources, anybody with the resources.
Ministry of Trade, why is that a good place to start? Hello, good morning, caller. Good morning. Hello,
good
morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Before we, as your guests keep mentioning about, I want to say to the sister, one thing in your last statement I realized you seeking to promote your business, which I endorse and encourage, right? Another thing I want to say is, when you look like people, I really might know Billy Ocean and Bob Marley and them fellas.
I know those people, I'm not that young.
Right, it's not an insult, but I'm saying, if you could mention the artist from Barbados, it suggests to me that you seeking to say Maya Motley promoted her because she excelled in the business world. Right, so Sparrow, all these people excelled. They went ahead and their young people, Marshall Montano, worldwide acclaimed. He's an icon. He went with an African artist from years back who died recently. So there are areas where we can excel. And what I'm saying, while you are trying to promote your business, I don't know, I could be wrong. Is it on the curriculum, music as being in business? Do you know?
I'm not understanding your question entirely.
No, that will take a longer.
Why I'm saying, if it is that she's promoting her, she's saying that there are no areas for the different genres to be promoted. There are different aspects and areas.
All right.
Yes, the powers that be probably not promoting it the way they should be. And to go back to say that the society is encouraged, that is a general statement. Whenever police shoot somebody, the community gets up and makes a whole brouhaha about it, but murders are going on and they are condoning it. So what we're saying is that if the musician could help the community to change the mindset, listen to me, sisters, these guns ain't coming in through the ghetto people, as you're saying, Big
all right,
people bringing that and promoting that.
Yeah, all right, brother, thank you. What happened, again, the second part of the discussion, we'll cover all of that, we'll have more time. I just don't want this discussion to get lost. We don't start conversations just for trending sake. We're really serious about this, Ms. Patterson.
Okay.
And again, I apologize to you publicly. I can't believe I say hush on radio. So help me.
And some people saying that I am angry and whatever. Did I come onto this program angry?
You're too passionate. That's why I remember I tell you.
Right. So I was met with a powerful attitude. I responded with a powerful attitude.
No. We were supposed to do this video on this program by radio, and after speaking with Ms. Patterson, I told Natasha, I said, this program will get way out of hand if we do this by video. She had to come in studio. And that's how she here.
At the end of the day, we all could agree that we are all passionate about however we feel towards the status of the country right now. And again, I would just love persons to take away as an individual. We all have a responsibility to contribute positively to society, right? And let us try working on solutions in a general aspect.
But you agree also that the artist has a responsibility.
I never disagree with that. Right. I never disagreed with that.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying, but Natasha, the one, Natasha.
Yeah, no, of course, the artist has a responsibility. We have to help them.
My view is we like to major in minors here, so I'm not too nonplussed by the response of the audience on this topic. It is expected. This is what I expect.
You know what I find unfortunate, though? You know what I find unfortunate? We all
laughing at some of these comments.
We all say that everybody's entitled to their opinion. But when people make opinion that we don't like, we want to jump down their throat for having an opinion. Do we really mean that everybody's entitled to their opinion?
Who says that? Who are the people who say that? Not me.
I born and grow hearing that. You have ever heard the comment that everybody's entitled to their opinion?
Certainly.
So I never asked who created that. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. You don't think so?
Yeah, when people want to have their opinion matter, people say that.
Fix it, Jesus.
I am okay with many persons disagreeing, and I, again, will focus on solutions as an individual.
Jesus, fix it.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
Jesus, fix it.
This is just part one of this discussion. We will continue with part two. We have to go. Mr. Daily Knock is here with the 12 o'clock news update.
Today's pan semis.
And yes, today's pan semis as well. And today's the results of
this young person know about that though.
And we will also find out today who is going to be performing at Calypso Fiesta.
Yes, Calypso folks. When you come down to Skinner Park, I'll be there. I've seen it from big. I've seen it in big. Major news up next with Mr. Daily Knock. Mr. Patterson, thank you once again.
No problem, and thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.